microphone, pointed it at my womb, and said, "Now, would you ask your womb to tell me why you don't want to be touched on your womb?" And he tried to touch me there, and I laughed. "That's what you always do," he said. I realized he was right, that whenever he would touch my womb, I would laugh. But when I started to think about it, I said, "Well, at the beginning of the relationship, you would touch me, but you used to sing to me more. You used to play the guitar. You recited poetry. That would open up my heart center, and it would open up my womb and open up my trust and all my intellect." But I knew that was only part of the truth. Then he said, keeping the mic pointed at my womb, "Well, can the womb speak?" I told him that she can say anything she'd like. I didn't know what she might say, but my sense was that she didn't like the way people touched her. I took a deep breath and said to my womb, "Speak!" And she began to speak through me. She spoke through my memories of when I had my second child. That time was all a fog to me because some of it was very traumatic, but my womb remembered it all. My doctor wasn't there when I went into labor. You're in labor, but your doctor doesn't report in until you're about to deliver. I thought she was going to be right there the whole time. Instead, there was this male European doctor who checked me out and examined me, and I felt like dying. Oh God, I thought, what's he going to do? I didn't even want to be there because I felt like I was going to jail instead of going into the hospital. I'd been on the healing path for years, but I still hadn't cleansed sufficiently for my womb to be in a healthy enough state to have a natural birth. This doctor made me put my feet up in those cold stirrups, and then he pushed his hand way up inside me. When I jumped back, he said, "I bet you didn't do that when you got pregnant." The tears came pouring down my face, and I was as tense as a board. I started pulling the little band off my wrist, ready to leave. I was in my 20s then, and my family always told me I was too sensitive. I kept hearing my family say, "Listen to the doctor, he knows best." So I'm looking up at the ceiling thinking, I have to submit to this. I felt like I was at death's door. In order for me to relax, I had to die. I had to leave my body there for that doctor to touch. When he finished, I was never the same. The experience buried itself deep inside my womb. And then my woman doctor came. She was a nice doctor, but she ran through all the laboring women there like an assembly line. There were all kinds of womb conditions, pain, cramping, everything going on. She got to me and said, "Okay, put your feet up. So how are you feeling?" And I said, "Oh gosh, I want to die right here." And she really didn't hear me. The next thing I knew, she had me in surgery for another cesarean. This is what made me so committed to healing my womb, because I told myself, I can treat my own womb sweeter, with greater reverence and with greater respect. I went to study about everything natural that we can do to heal our wombs and prevent a future womb problem or a future womb relationship that would make me shut down further. Then I realized we also have to look at our relationships and emotional responses. I thought about my relationship with my former husband at that time. It had been a total trauma to me, and of course, it had ended in a divorce. It was all that unloving, uncaring touching of my womb that had made me so defensive and self-protective. Even now that I've finally found a man who is kind and gentle, I find I'm still having trouble when my womb is touched. But I'm laughing. I'm being nice by laughing. This time, though, I told him about my bad experiences, and we talked about it all. Then he said, "Now I understand. For 7 years, I never quite understood what was happening." And then I started holding him and hugging him while he explained to me how he felt, how he had related to my sensitivity and emotions. It felt as if we had started all over again. like everything was brand new between us, like spring. Then suddenly my husband began to rock me and sing to me like a poet, and my womb broke out into a wondrous smile. It was because he decided to interview my womb that we got so clear about the whole touching issue. The Unhealed Womb, Preparing for Your Sacred Womb Journal Work.